How to make 10% a month consistently in Forex. Check it out. Okay, guys, so today I brought you one of my accounts. It's the same account that I started trading with this channel. It's the account that I was using for studying, the strategies that we're gonna test, etc., stuff like that. So if you guys don't know, I started the channel a month ago. That's when I started the account because I wanted to show you how you can consistently make 10% a month or 5% a month, risking that specific capital that you have. How can you do this? What are the risks, etc.? And today I want to show you the results. Okay, so on the right side I have MT5. Okay, so this is a real account. It's a Cent account, all right, but it's pretty much mirroring what at least one of the things that I'm doing, one of the strategies that I'm using in one of my accounts. So but I'm in this account I'm using a Cent account. Okay, but it's the same thing. Right side I have MT5, left side I have my FX book, which, if you don't know what my FX book is basically a database for the trade. So I can link up what happened to MT5 to see if I'm actually going to be able to be profitable long term or not. Okay, this is just to keep transparency, or just make me transparent, because there's a lot of gurus on the internet, a lot of people making up things and claiming that they're doing this and that. But you're not seeing the risk, you're not seeing this, you're not seeing that. So I want to make sure that this is a more straightforward path and like more transparent path, like I said, and that you know exactly what's everything that I'm doing, so that you know how I'm doing this, what is the limit of doing this, etc., stuff like that. Because otherwise it's easy for me to just come up here and tell you that you can make 5% a month, but how long are you going to be able to do that without losing? All right, that being said, let's go check it out. Okay, so on the history trade on this account, as you can see, that account started with 1,063, okay, and I started that in April 27th, so pretty much a month ago, 1.5 months ago, more or less. And then these are my profits, so 264, 0.93, 1.66, very low profit, but I was closing many trades bit by bit until I compounded, all right. And when it comes to percentage rate of the account, that's pretty much how I was getting approximately per trade. So 0.23%, 0.08, 0.14, 0.12, 0.46, 0.57, okay, which ultimately led me to 109 and 33, which that thing represents 10% of the initial capital which I started, right, which is 1,000. And if you go right here into my FX book, you see that it's going to say 5.66%, but that's because it's not updated, because actually it's 10%. It's going to update. That was updated 3 hours ago. I need a few more hours to be updated, but I'm going to show you guys that is actually 10%. If you go here on the balance part, you see that I have 1,170, okay, which I started with 1063, like I said, and now it's 1,000, and now it's 1,170. All right, margin level is at 4,000%, more or less. I already made a video about margin level. What is the more or less average margin level that you'll be around? I said that it got to be somewhere between 5,000% and 1,000%. So this account is pretty safe, okay, because it's at 4,000% right now. So consistently making 10%. And it's also a safe margin. So that gives me peace of mind to continue doing this until I can eventually make 100% off this account. And then I will start over again. Or depending on the strategy that I'm using at the moment, I might deposit more money or switch up strategies, etc., stuff like that. That's one of the ways that I do. Now, if you don't know, the red line here represents the profit of the account, okay? So this is the red line. It represents the profit of the account. It's pretty consistent. And then the yellow line represents the drawdown. So it starts close to the account. And as we open more trades, depending on what strategy you're doing, the drawdown is going to fluctuate between going up and going down, going up, going down, going up, going down, which is the frequency in which I talked about very briefly in one of the previous videos. And I'm going to make a class. And I'm going to do a class more in depth about frequency. But that's pretty much the natural flow of the market, okay? Because it's fluctuation. It's not a fixed income. It's a variable income, and this is supposed to happen. Now I have the balance, which represents the same thing, okay? Started with 1K, and then it's now up to 1.1, which is 10%. And when it comes to profit, it's the same thing. This bar here is the break even, all right? So the bars on the top, they are representing profit trades or profitable trades, and then the bars on the bottom or below this line is representing the negative trades, which I had only 2. Okay, so this one was a negative one, and this one was also a negative one, which an MT5 represents these 2 trades. Okay, so it was, one of them was 0.98, so that's pretty much nothing. Okay, 0.98. The other one was 0.08. Let me do it again. 0.98, and the other one was 0.08. So it's pretty much nothing comparing to the positive ones, because the idea is, it's not about losing money. You can lose money, but the only thing you got to do is, when you make money, you have to make more than what you're losing. So if you earn $10, or if you lose $10 when you lose, but when you make money, you earn 100 or 50. I'm just going to say 50, for example. You have a profit factor of 40. You're positive 40. And if you're able to do that consistently, now you're able to be profitable on the long term, okay? That's on theory. There's a lot more that you got to cover. It's not that simple, okay? But it's more or less the idea that you got to understand. Now, if we scroll down, you can see the amount of trades I made, 28 trades, profitability. I am much more profitable, okay, than I am losing. Here's the risk of ruin that we have. There's so many things here that will get in depth more in the later videos. But so far, I want to make it simple for you guys. And here is one to show you. So the month, okay, the left bar represents the month of April. So in April, we made 3.12%. Okay, April 2026, which was last month. And May, we did 2.46. Again, it's not updated. We made more than that. We actually made 10%. But I'm still positive, okay? So if I click on this bar right here, I'm sorry, you can see all the trades that we made, all right? Which currency pairs that I traded. So 12.5% of the trades were were on USD CAD. Another 12.5% was on USD SGD, okay? Another one was at Euro GBP, 12.5%. I was pretty balanced. And on this right side here is where you can see the average holding time for April. So I was holding a lot more for long than I was for short, right? Especially Euro GBP. That's the amount of time I was holding. So this one I was holding for pretty much 23 days, okay? 23 days. Some of these trades I'm going to close earlier. Some of these trades I'm going to close faster. Some days I'm going to close at the exact same day. Okay. Some of these trades are going to pay me money whilst it's for overnight. Some of these trades are going to it's going to be costing me money. So I got to be careful with this long term, because the swap can actually slowly kill your account. So there's a lot of things that we need to talk about, but we're going to be covering that in the future. And this is the month of May. So May, I changed it up a little bit. So GBP CAD was at 8.3%, USD MXN 16.7%. Okay, some of these markets, they have different swaps, like I said, different spreads, which are things that you have to take into consideration. Some of these pairs, they're exotic pairs, so it is more risky if there's any news that happens in the country that we're trading at the moment. So all these things are going to vary, and it's going to impact directly to your margin level, which can be good or bad depending on how are you doing this, right? Lastly, you can see the risk reward ratio for May. And well, all the way up to now, I'm going to continue documenting the progress of these accounts, all right? As of right now, I don't want you taking into consideration the amount of money that I'm putting here, because this is just for studying. This is actually one of the accounts that are mirroring, like I said, one of the strategies that I do for foreign exchange market. This is much bigger than that, and the idea is teach you rather than like show you crazy amounts of money, in which if you don't learn what you're doing, it doesn't matter if you have 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000, you're gonna blow it up. And that's the last thing I want you to do, okay? Of course, Forex is a high risk investment, so I want to make it very clear in all of my videos. Don't put money that you cannot afford to lose, all right? And you have to be responsible for your wins or your losses. This is just for educational purposes, but this is a little bit of what I do with my money, okay? And I'm sharing with you guys because I want to show to you guys that it's possible to be profitable, taking into consideration the risks that you're taking, okay? With a lot of studies, with a lot of responsibility, mixing up markets, etc., stuff like that. But yeah. So I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you so much for watching it. Stay tuned, because I'll be coming up with news, more strategies, more studying, a lot more content for you guys. Let's study and let's beat the market. Take care.